fly. And the sun is shining down on the valley. Hope to be a fly fish till the day that I die. Spring has thawed out the long bitter winter. The water is clear and the skies are blue. I'm standing in the middle of the Beaver Kill River. Might even catch and release one or two. Well, some folks like horses, cats or a dog. Me, I like fishing with a rod and a fly. Yes, fishing is a favorite pastime of mine. If I couldn't do it, I think I would cry. Well, life is good when I'm wading a river. It gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Trout is rising in the far eddy. I make a false cast, then take my aim. If he takes the fly, I feel so much better. And if he doesn't, I'll feel no shame. Stoneflies and caddis and the riffles are plenty. Mayflies courting on fragrant breeze. And cedar wax wings come down from the heaven, wait for their dinner up in the pine trees. The water is cold and my waders leak, and it's raining now on my favorite stream. I'll bear it all, just fish with a feather, so when I sleep I will have a sweet dream. And life is good when I'm wading a river. It gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Oh, ripples and waves, pools and eddies, trout are rising for the mayfly. And the sun is shining down on the valley. Hope to be a fly fish till the day that I die. Yes, I hope to be a fly fish till the day that I die. Hey folks, Curtis Mayfly here. I'm taking a hike today down the Nanaco Creek. Yeah, I had to think about where I was. And what I'm doing is I'm dragging my canoe up the creek because there's such little water in it. But I hope it will make it easier to get over the beaver dams and paddle up some of the deeper water that I hope to find upstream. It's about 90, 95 plus out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel up the stream and hope to find some of the springs and give you a shot at some of the trout water that is up here. And hey, if we find some fish, we find some fish. You never know. But I'm standing here just below Junction Pool, and I was just looking at a natural structure where trees had fallen into the water. Okay, these are natural trees. Nobody placed them here, but they fell into the water, and they were at an upstream V type angle, which forces the water when it's high to come down and make a 45-degree left turn or right turn based on the angle. And what it's done is it's dug a tremendous hole here, which could aid trout survival on a 90-degree day like today. But what I'm hoping to find is above Junction Pool up here is some colder water coming down the spring-fed east branch of the Nanaco. So, hey, we'll talk to you as we go. I'm standing here in front of some natural structures. This is what we're talking about when trees that fall down along the stream should be left alone, left in the stream. This is creating a log jam and a dam, and it's forcing the water to dig a nice deep hole here, which is habitat for trout and other fish. It also provides shade and cover, and it also slows the stream down. During a high water period, if this was flooding up to here, this would be a big slowdown for that water. So it's important to leave this stuff in the stream. I'm here at the beginning of the east branch of the Nanticoke, where it meets Junction Pool. And I'm going to take a water temperature, and it doesn't feel too cold. And the water here is actually 74.9 coming into this. And I've been here before, and it's been colder than that. So let's go upstream and see what's going on here. I just crossed one of the first of the mini dams to find here on the East Branch. This is all posted here. No hunting or trespassing. This side of the river is fishing. Should be public fishing rights. The signs just aren't up yet. But this is a tremendously deep hole here. And I just saw some fish here. The water's still pretty warm. There's some bass, smallmouth bass are in here. It is pretty warm. Trout, as we all know, are a cold water species. And I see some ducks up ahead. So this is a pretty good little ecosystem we got going on here. And again, here's some more trees that are in the water. And these will slow the current down when it floods. And you can see here, this was an old beaver dam from many years ago right here. Look, duck. And what we have here is, now it's about 2 feet deep, and then it goes back into another deep hole here. So it's undulating. The bottom is going riffle, well, this is all pool flat, but it's deep holes. There's a lot of trees in here, which are good, because this causes the stream to do its natural meander. Ooh, some big fish right ahead of me. Bass. A bunch of bass. Yep. I just scared them. Smallmouth bass. Lots of them. Well, on the way back down, we'll try to catch some. And it's kind of muddy and silty in here now. Due to the lack of current, it's pretty flat. And any silt that gets in here is going to settle right there. Now we're getting into some stone, and it just continues like this. We got a bunch of trees up here. Unfortunately, tires. Here's the tree that I fell in here a couple years ago when I was doing a temperature study, just like today. But this is a beautiful spot. I actually scared a big trout out when I fell right here. I think I was climbing down here to cross here. I didn't have my canoe that day. I should have, because it's a lot easier to travel by canoe. But again, the water's still pretty warm here. We've only gone up maybe 100 yards. And I see a family of ducks up there, mother with her little chicks. And again, here it is tremendously deep. Heavily vegetated forest on both sides, and which makes it a good trout system. However, a blue heron, a huge blue heron just took off. Maybe I'll turn the camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing here. But I got to find a place where I can put my feet down. It's really deep here. This is a tremendous pool area. Lots of trees in the water. This is just awesome right here. I mean, it's, 4 or 5 feet deep at least. And it varies. Now it's getting shallow. I think I'll turn the camera on for a little bit. Lots of ferns. You don't see any Japanese bamboo here, or whatever they call it, knotweed, Japanese knotweed. But again, you see these beautiful structures of wood and debris in the river, which helps slow the current down during high water periods. It also helps carve out deep holes, and this is the way a stream should look. This is probably one of the most wild sections on the Nanticoke, I would imagine, that has been virtually left untouched. There's a lot of trees on both sides again, and it's just absolutely gorgeous here. The only problem I'm finding is that this water seems to be a lot warmer than I found it before. And it could be because this pool section here is a lot bigger than it used to be. And there's some fishing line. So somebody's been in here fishing. Fishing line caught on a tree there. This is just a tremendous pool. This is super deep here with logs and trees and stuff sunk under the current. And this is what gives it good habitat for trout. Oh, the water is much colder here. I'm going to have to take a temperature reading. If I can get out of the boat. Oh, big tree down. We may have some problems. Feels like it's getting colder here, a little bit cooler. Let's take a reading here. Excellent. The water here is 72.7, so it's dropping as we go up. The temperature is almost 90 out, and it's about 11:30, so we got our work cut out for us. We got a big tree up here. Gonna have to find a way to get it around that. That's gonna be some work. So let's go do it. We got a long way to go. Yeah. And you just couldn't imagine how many crayfish there are here. And they're big ones. They're not just little crayfish, they're big crayfish. And from my experience of having crayfish in my fish tank, they're pretty awesome. They actually will swim up and, or they will actually grab a minnow as it swims by and drag it under their rock and eat it. So they're like little dinosaurs, you know, Triceratops rex or something. But the water's getting into the zone where trout could tolerate it. I'm not saying there's trout here yet, but they could tolerate 72, as they do on the Alsable and the Delaware and other places. You just don't want to catch them at that temperature because you'll probably kill them. And look at that tree. We got to find a way around the big tree here. I'm not sure, but this looks like where I found some springs, but maybe not. And we got to keep going upstream. There's another tree down. I could have sworn this was where the springs were. It looks like it. The water's pretty stagnant right here, actually. I'm pretty surprised at how stagnant it is right here. You know, it's got like cow manure on the surface from where farmers have been putting, somehow letting waste get into the watershed. Oh, little frog. Look out, froggy. Lots of frogs. What? What? Slow down. What? Go get your baby. Go get your baby. I'm just taking a temperature. Well, I just took the temperature upstream here. This is the spring. This is one of the water coming out of the ground is cold here. Upstream it was 77.8. Okay? So upstream from here was 77.8. Let's find some mud here. The mud here is 67 degrees, but that's on the surface. From upstream from here, there's about an inch of water coming into the stream. From here down, it's like deep. It's like 4 or 5 feet deep from here all the way down to the junction pool. This is the trout habitat that I would like to see made into a no-kill fly fishing only area. And if we protected this area and stocked it and perhaps somehow manage this cold water, you could almost dam this upstream and forget about that. You know, you could almost make a lake upstream from here, dam it, and then bottom feed from that lake for leaving cold water in the stream. And then this spring water here wouldn't be, you know, warmed up so much. This water's coming in almost 80 degrees. It mixes with 65, 67 degree water, and it warms it up. But it's still, trout still could survive in this area. I did see a few fish rise, but again, right here is all spring. This whole section right here is all spring. And down below by that one tree that we walked by, that was the springs. Looks a little different. There's a fish right there. It looks a little different today than when I came here many years ago. Of course, the grass is all grown up, the flowers are up, and everything else. But this is definitely trout habitat, and I hope you'll put your waders on. My legs are all scratched up and sunburned from yesterday, but the grass is very sharp, and it's been cutting my feet up walking through it. So if you had some waders on, you could walk through here fairly easily. And again, if we would see that this spring area from here downstream to the junction pool was stocked with fish, we would see some good fishing. And Dave Lemon, as I understand it, floated downstream this spring and did some stocking. I don't know how well he did or how he made out going around all those trees, but it's definitely good fish. The big springs, it's right in the middle of the water. And if I bounce up and down, you can almost feel the rocks move. The water is so cold that it makes my feet hurt. So I'm going to try to get a temperature down near where my feet are. On the surface it's 71.8. It's 56.9 down where my feet are on the bottom, and it's so cold it actually hurts. And here today, and I'll take the temperature right here as we stand. Try the thermometer off, but it is so cold my feet are hurting. It's pretty phenomenal here to be standing in a spring so cold that I can't stand it. It actually hurts. The water's so cold right here. This is just unbelievable. So the spring starts just up around the bend here where I was just videotaping, and it comes all the way around here, and there's a beaver dam. That big beaver dam is downstream of me, and that's where this is just a beautiful section of cold water. There's several springs in here. Now if we could get rid of that beaver dam, perhaps the water would flow more freely and cool more of the river, more of the Nanticoke. But I'm now in a warm spot. The temperature in the air is it's climbing 79. I know it's about 87 out. But this is just a remarkable spot right here. All this water here is just freezing cold. It's just seeping out. No matter where you go, it's just, right here it's warm, and right here it's like freezing cold on the bottom. It's just so cold right down. It hurts. The water's so cold here it actually hurts. It's like, like when you eat a slushie and you get that brain freeze. Well, my knees hurt because this water's so cold here. Stinging nettles. Ow. That hurt. Forgot about those. What's amazing is I just found some rocks here with stoneflies all over them, hatching stoneflies, and so there are some pretty good hatches here. There's rocks by the thousands covered with stonefly shucks, which means there has been a nice hatch of stoneflies here, probably within the last week.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Gotta see this.
Kurt Nelson,
What?
I came home and told you that very thing, but you didn't see me. No, never mind.
I did too.
You did not.
I did too.
Your car review went back and played that stupid game.